let's bring this to financial services. How does this work in a financial institution? We're going to go on a bit of a journey here. Our first step is South Africa. Capitec Bank. So South Africa has a big four banks, four very large financial institutions that have dominated the local economy for about 150 years. They are large, they are well capitalized, they are highly sophisticated. Capitec is the upstart. It started in 2001. And guess who started it? It wasn't even bankers. It was executives from the liquor industry who knew about consumer marketing. And they looked at the big four banks and they said, this is terrible. All these banks are terrible. Equally, we hate them all. And they weren't alone. They may be four dominant institutions, they were not four popular institutions. So Capitec resolved to do it differently. They tore up all the old assumptions, because they didn't actually have a whole lot of assumptions. These folks were from the liquor industry. And then they created a focus. Their focus was on the historically unbanked or underbanked population. People who had been excluded largely from the financial system due to apartheid. Folks who felt rather uncomfortable entering into these big four banks. And they figured, what can they do specifically for them? Well, they created a service proposition for them, but they also created a price proposition for them. Their fees are about half the cost of an account at one of the big four banks. And they grew really fast. They are far and away the #1 bank in the country now, after 20 short years. The #1 bank in the country in terms of number of accounts. And oh, by the way, like Planet Fitness, this is also a great business. ROE of 26% last year, and that is not atypical. If you look over the past 10 years, they're always north of 20%. So what did they do? Well, here's a Capitec branch. Think about what you don't see in this picture. You don't see a security guard. Now, crime is a problem in South Africa. But there's actually no reason to have a security guard at a Capitec branch because there is no cash at a Capitec branch. If you want to get cash, you go to an ATM. If you want to deposit cash, you go to an ATM. No need to have security. You know what else I don't see? I don't see any sort of bar between the reps, the tellers, and the customers. They're benches. These benches are designed for two people. So you have the rep and you have the customer, and they sit side by side and they look at a screen together on an equal footing. So there is no hierarchy. There is no intimidation going on. People are welcome at a Capitec branch because you're an equal with the people who work there. And you look together at the screen. So you understand the customer's financial situation together, which, by the way, helps them to cross-sell. Now, one other thing they do that facilitates cross-sell is when you open an account, you get one account. It's called the Capitec One account. And it does four things. You can transact. You can save in a set number of different savings plans. You can have basic insurance. And you can potentially qualify for some basic credit plans too. So there's no separate sales process. People already start with these four things enabled. It's in their app, it's in front of them all the time. People can cross-sell themselves. So it is a super low-cost model for Capitec to run. It's a simple model. It's a focused model. It's an extraordinarily popular and profitable model too. They know their customer, they know how to delight them, they know how to make money. It's the Planet Fitness of retail banking in South Africa.